A very warm and hearty good day to all of you. My name is Ramanpreet Kaur Bhatia, and I'm a chartered accountant from ICAI, a certified public accountant from CPA Australia, diploma in information systems audit from ICAI, and a distinguished Toastmaster from Toastmasters International. Today, I'll be discussing some topics from Module 1 of Global Strategy Leadership of CPA Australia. I'll be discussing the topics of value proposition and productivity frontier in this video with you all. Hope you find some value in these videos. I'll be starting off with my first topic for today, which is value proposition. Now, value proposition. If we talk in a layman language, what is a value proposition? The definition of value proposition is value proposition describes the target customer, the problem that is solved for the customer, and why what is being offered is distinctively better than the available alternatives. Value proposition is essentially the value that we are giving to our customer. It is basically understanding what the customer wants and how we can make that product to suit his or her needs, and the product, the value that we are giving to our customers suits his or her needs and is also distinctively better than the value which is being provided by our competitors. In other words, we can say that a value proposition is a declarative statement that explains why a customer should buy my product or service. What differentiates my service, what differentiates me and make my offerings unique, and why I am the best choice for that customer to buy his products from. Essentially, it involves four major points. The first one is, who is my customer? Identify who is my customer. What are the pain points of the customers? What does the customer actually want? And what is stopping that customer to achieve that want? Then I'll make my product as per this need. Once I understand the value which is needed by my customer, I will make my product, I will condition my product in such a way that it offers value to my customers. But it's not only me who is there in the market. There are other people also. If I am vendor 1, there is vendor 2, there is vendor 3, there is vendor 4. So they are all offering their products to my customer also. So why the particular customer should come to me, or why it should come to only vendor 1? Because the value which I am providing is definitely the best, better quality than what vendor 2 or vendor 3 or vendor 4 are providing. So the 4 points to understand is, who is my customer? What does the customer actually want? What are his needs? Make products that fulfill that specific need or want. But the most important point is, my product should actually fulfill that need better than my competitor's product. This is the crux. This is the basic point of value proposition, that I am fulfilling the value, but at the same time, this fulfillment, this value fulfillment is better than my competitor. Then only the customer will come to me. Right? So that is the whole point of value proposition. It is actually, I am not talking about vendors, I am talking about customers. So it is essentially the voice of the customer, get to the point of customers' need and appeal to customers' pressing needs, fulfilling the needs, understanding the needs of the customer and fulfilling the needs of my customer better than my competitor. The first point in this in value proposition is to understand who is my customer, right? And then we have two more points in that. That is, what are the pains of my customers and what are the gains of my customers? This is known as customer profile. So what you see in the slide is the customer profile, right? There are 2 points. We have we want to understand the specific customer segments in terms of what the customer needs to get done and what is currently difficult or challenging for them, why this need cannot be fulfilled. For example, say I live in locality, I have my shop in locality 1, my customer is living in locality 2. Now he wants some product which is available only in locality 1. That is what is this? This is the pain point of the customer. Customer want this product, but the shift of locality is stopping him to fulfill his needs. That is the pain point. Now the gain point is what does the customer actually want to achieve? Now customer wants some quality, customer wants some price. Even if I take it there in locality, I take my product from locality 1 to locality B, the customer wants value for his product, want the quality, good quality product, and he wants this good quality product at a particular price. That is the gain point. Right. So to identify a customer means we identify the pain points and we identify the gain points. Then only once we know what is the pain, we will find a pain reliever. Once we know that this is the gain, this is something which a customer wants, this is the value that the customer actually wants, we will create the gain creators. How we can provide this value, how we can stop the pain to be passed on to the customer, that is the pain reliever, how we want the customer to actually achieve what he wants to get, that is the gain creator. So that is the customer profile, right? Moving on to the next slide. Again, we are repeating who is my customer, pains, what is stopping customer to fulfill his needs, gains, what does the customer actually want to achieve. As I told you earlier, once we understand this, we have to make a product that relieves the pain. We have to solve two purposes. The first thing is that we have to relieve the pain. Second thing is we have to increase the gain, right? The first is relieve the pain, help the customer in getting what he wants, and then once we do both of these, once we create the pain relievers, once we create the gain creators, we will create a value that a customer is willing to pay, right? How? Through value mapping. Now what is value mapping? Value mapping means we are mapping the gains with the gain creators. We are mapping pains with the pain creators. The customer segment, what they exactly want. The value proposition segment, what we need to do to provide that value to the customer. This process is known as value mapping. Moving on to next slide. Again, value map, how to achieve value proposition by giving pain relievers and by making gain creators. So this is known as the value proposition canvas. So if somebody asks you what is value proposition canvas, value proposition canvas is something um, where we are helping the customers, where we are mapping the customers with the customer segment with the value proposition to help them achieve what they want, plus relieve pain, plus create value that they are willing to pay. Right? How will we achieve this? By, if you see in this diagram, by mapping the gain creators with the gain, by mapping pain relievers with the pains. So in order to overcome gains and pains, We have to make a product which is a gain creator and which is a pain reliever, right? Moving on to next slide, how to understand this process. Now we know that what is, again, we'll go through the definition of value proposition. It describes the target customer, the problem that is solved for the customer, and why what is being offered is distinctively different from what is being offered by our competitors. A fit between the customer profile and the value map is achieved when the customer respond positively to the products that we have created. So we need to create pain relievers and we have to create gain creators. Now we'll dive more into this C by taking the example which is given in the book of GSL. The example is of mountain bikes direct, how this company moved from retail to online and how they succeeded in providing value, what the customers were looking for. Now, we'll just go into the background of this company. This Mountain Bikes Direct company was a company which was dealing in the mountain bikes, and they had their stores, they had their physical store in the Brisbane city of Australia. They did not had any online presence. There was just the customers were the local people living around in that portion of Brisbane city. They used to come to this company and used to buy their bikes. Now, what they decided, already the online model was prevalent at that time. But the founders of this company, Mountain Bikes Direct, what they decided to completely shut down their physical shop front, and they wanted to go wholly online. No physical store, only the online store. Why? What was the thought? What were the foreseen benefits that they see when they decided to go wholly online? When they had their physical store, who were their customers? Their customers were the local people living around, and they used to come and buy from them. Now, if they go online, if they go wholly online, what will happen? Their customer base will increase. Maybe the earlier the customers were, say again, for example, locality 1 people of Brisbane city, now locality 2 will also be addressed, locality 3 will also be addressed, probably the whole Brisbane city will be assessed. Then maybe they can move, they can have the customers from Melbourne city, they can have customers from Sydney city, they can have from Canberra, they can have from Perth, or maybe they can move forward and they can have customers from Singapore, they can have customers from Hong Kong. So it will be an increase in the customer base. Second point, large range of products in stock, including far more niche and specialty items than the physical stores. Now, if I know for a fact that if we have a physical store, we'll have a limited space, we'll have a shop size, or we'll have an office space where we can store some products or parts of those mountain bikes. Right, so there is a space constraint. But if I go online, I can have large range of products in my stock. Right, I can have the specialty items. Maybe in online stores, I can cater to different kinds of people. I can have special tire section, I can have special seat section, I can have special handle section, all those, or I can just have the sliding section. So all those specialty items, I can create different sections for them. Then the third point is even had stock as compared to limited stocks in other local bike shops, which is just the same as the point number 2. Because now if I do not have a space constraint, I can store, I can offer any number of products. Again, the fourth point says that savings on rent. If I'm not having a shop, I need not to pay rent. Instead, I may have, okay, other operating expenses. I'll have expenses of the website, or I'll have for whatever professional help I need, I'll have expenses on that, but I'll be saving on rent amount. So those were the foreseen benefits when the makers decided to go wholly online without a physical shop front. Was it free of challenges? Do you think suddenly, if I decide that I want to shut my shop and I just want to go online, will I face any challenge? Yes. What were the challenges faced by mountain bikes direct founders? Earlier, some suppliers did not support them and refused to deal with an online only business because for them also it was an unforeseen kind of business, a business in which they did not have any experience, those suppliers. So they said, why should we go with you? Why should we not only stick to the local people? And maybe we'll earn less, but at least we'll be safe. That was the mindset, or we can say the mind block. So what the founders of this company did, they went to them, they convinced them that, see, even if you decide not to supply to us and not to venture with us or not to make a partnership with us in this online business, you are not there, but others are there, right? People are still buying online. So in an indirect way, your customer base is shifted already. So why don't you also join us? And why don't you also enjoy the same benefits? Why don't you also enjoy increased profits with us? Because there is an increased customer base. And you will get an opportunity to have more sales, which is a second point. That is, they were convinced by the owners, those suppliers, they were convinced by the owners of the mountain bikes direct by saying that people are still buying online, but from overseas. Right. If the local suppliers start supporting them, they will get opportunities to have more sales. There were, of course, profitability issues in the beginning, as it happens to any new kind of business. But slowly, those challenges, issues, profitability issues were over. They overcame those issues. They got experience. They got expert staff. They got personalized. They personalized their approach. So all those issues were they were able to overcome those issues. Instead, they started focusing on customer service and customer experience. And this is where value proposition comes into being. They used certain methodology to achieve this value proposition. What? The first and foremost important thing is they decided to use the cloud services. They decided to outsource their IT services. What happened with that? When their services were outsourced, the professional people came in. Professional people, they took the services of the professional people. People were hired in different parts of the cities by those cloud the service provider. The Because of different time zones, earlier people were not able to access to the services. People were not able to have that face to face conversation, or when they used to make a phone call, they had to wait for a longer time to approach to the company. But with the help of this cloud services, with the help of this outsourcing, they the customer started getting the services anywhere in the world, anytime in the world. So that's how the business gained efficiency. Now, if say somebody is deployed in Singapore, or somebody is deployed in Hong Kong, or somebody is deployed in China, or somebody is deployed in India, they you you are in constant touch, or you are getting the information about your competitors also. You are getting an information about the emerging trends also. Some people in Singapore might have different choices. In Hong Kong, they may have different choices. In or other parts of the world, people may have different preferences. They may have different choices. So by using this cloud services, the makers of the founders of mountain bikes direct, they started getting information on competition. They started getting information on the choices and preferences of customers. So accordingly, they made informed and well calculated decisions on innovation, new products, and they started making their business development policies. Now, overall, what happened when this efficiency was increased, when the customers were catered nicely, when the customers were catered efficiently and on time, they it the focus shifted to the improved customer experience. They started getting a good experience. Because what were the team values adopted by the company? They were straight talk, inclusive, and professional. They started using the terms that time is valuable. They started using the term that there has to be continuous improvement. Then, with the help of this focus, a major turnaround in business came in terms of marketing also. Earlier, what was the pain? When we talk about when we were talking about value proposition, we talked about pains. Earlier, business relied on customers finding stores by searching for that particular product online. Now, the customers used to go on website and used to search. Based on that, the company's name used to come on the Google, and then accordingly the customers approached. Now, what happened? The business overhauled its website to clearly focus on value that it offers to customers. The business adopted a more personalized approach towards its customers. They understood, the makers of this company understood that it is only if we realize who are our customers, what are their pains and gains, and we make a product specified towards, personalized towards those customers, then only we can succeed. So they adopted a more personalized approach. They started providing expert advice to its customers, providing short biographies of key personnel, using action names and photos of staff communicating with them. Right? If I want a tire, I'll go to a tire expert. If I want a particular type of seat, I'll talk with a seat expert. Right? So when the things started getting personalized, then giving a description of awards on its website and thereby demonstrating credibility and commitment to potential customers, slowly and slowly the company progressed. They gained the confidence of the customers and they started getting some awards during the course of the time. So when they got the awards, they started displaying those awards. They started giving a description of those awards on their website, further demonstrating their credibility. Overall, the focus approach was focused on providing excellent customer experience and gaining confidence of the customers, which is the essence, which is the crux of value proposition, right? Again, we'll revise the 4 points. Who is my customer? What are the customer? What does the customer actually want? What are his needs? And making products which is suitable to those needs. Once we do that, we'll gain the customer's confidence. We'll demonstrate our credibility. We will provide an excellent customer experience. Hence, Mountain Bikes Direct succeeded after they realized the value needed by the customer and thereby tapping the need and creating their products which could actually fulfill the customer's needs better than their competitors. So this is the example given in the book which elaborates the value proposition concept. Now, to understand it even better, we will put all those pains and gains, all those pain relievers and gain creators in this value proposition canvas, which we discussed earlier. Now, the customer profile. We'll talk about on the left-hand side, the customer's segment. What the customer wanted. Get the bike parts they need to support how they want to ride their bikes. That was the need. What were the gain points? What is the value that they actually wanted? Right? Longer operating hours. The customer base is huge, right? So what do they actually want? People in Singapore want a longer operating hours as compared to the Australian time because of the time zone difference. Maybe they are free only in the night, so they want to chat or they want to find something in the night, so they wanted longer operating hours. They wanted direct access to expert staff. They wanted a fast response. They wanted an early access to new products. Right? Those were the values which the customers wanted. What were the pains? What was stopping? What were the things which were stopping customers to get the value which they needed. The pains were ability to get more obscure paths, right? So that was the customer segment. Those were the gains that they wanted. Those were the pains that they were facing. How this company, Mountain Bikes Direct, solved that to create a value proposition. They created products which were diverse. They had a diverse product range, specialist bike paths, and expert advice. How? What were the gain creators? Wider target audience reach, specialist staff around the world, right? To give the value to the customers. Early awareness and introduction of new products and services coming onto market. The pains were ability to get more obscure paths. So what they did, how this company relieved the pain by removing the overheads of physical stores to offer wide range of products and services, using the cloud to have a flexible staffing model. So that is all in all about value proposition canvas. Again, I will repeat the sentence that value proposition is a declarative statement which explains why the customer should purchase from me, why the value which is being offered by me is distinctive, it is unique and better than my competitors, and is actually targeted at what the customer actually wants. That is the whole idea of value proposition. I hope that clarifies your doubts on value proposition topic. If you still have more questions about it, do let me know. Now we'll move on to our next topic for today, which is the productivity frontier. Productivity frontier. What is productivity frontier? Productivity frontier is if I'm sitting here right now with my equipments, with my laptop, with my speaker, with my camera, with my table, with my chair, am I giving my best right now? That is productivity frontier. We'll talk about the definition. It is the present situation or current situation of an organization where we are performing at our best efficiency and effectiveness, and we are delivering our best maximum performance given present cost, present technology, present skills, best resources. One thing which we have to keep in mind in terms of productivity frontier is it's a present concept. We are talking only about present. We are not thinking about future. We are saying that in present situation, given the resources, given the best resources, given the best skills, given the best technology which I have right now, I am working at my best efficiency and effectiveness. Right? That is productivity frontier. But we should remember that it is the present best position. Whatever I am doing, it is the present best scenario. In productivity frontier phase, we are not thinking of anything about future changes. If I am producing a product and if I am giving a value to my customers, I am not thinking or I am not even considering that in future my customers' preference might change. Or I am not thinking that because of some unforeseen circumstances, my productivity in future might dip. Right? I am not thinking anything about future. I am just saying that this is the present time and I am giving my best, given my best resources or given my best cost at this time. Right? So we are not having sustainable strategic advantage in productivity frontier phase. What should we do? How to maintain my strategic advantage and to sustain it. We should do unique activities. We should make investments in unique activities. Right? This is a solution to productivity frontier. If we are just talking about productivity frontier, we just have to remember that this is the present best situation, right? But the present best situation might not last long. So to last that long, or to have that strategic competitive advantage in future, I should try from now onwards, I should try and upgrade my skills. From now onwards, I should make a provision that my customers preferences or my customers taste will change in future, or I have to make a provision if new competitor comes in the market, or I have to make a provision if technology changes in future. I have to start investing in those unique activities that have yet not been considered in present productivity frontier. Now, if you see the diagram on the right hand side of this page on this slide, it gives the curve of the productivity frontier. What happens is, we are saying that this is the present best situation. So what happens is, if we are somewhere below the curve, we are in productivity frontier. If we increase our efficiency, definitely our productivity frontier will move outward, right? Essentially, I will never be able to cross my productivity frontier, because what is productivity frontier? In present, my best cost, my best technology, my best performance. That is productivity, that is that line. I will always be below that line. If I'll increase my productivity, then of course the productivity frontier will also rise, right? So all successful companies, they remain below that productivity frontier for most of their lives. Some important points to consider for productivity frontier. It is an economic concept. Question might come on that, but it is an economic concept. Here we are talking in terms of cost. We are talking in terms of technology. So it is an economic concept. The frontier curve is forever moving outwards as the organization becomes effective. Competitive strategy will not shift productivity curve outwards. Most successful organizations always sit below the productivity curve, because as I said, if my efficiency increases, the productivity curve will also move outwards. Higher non-price buyer value delivered will never be equal to lower relative cost position on the curve. Right. So that is productivity frontier for all of us. Again, we'll just revise this concept. It is an economic concept, and it is the present situation or current situation of an organization where we are performing at our best efficiency, given the best cost, given the best technology, given the best resources. Right. So this is productivity frontier for us, a present day concept. That is all for these two topics from my side in today's video. That is the value proposition and productivity frontier. If you do have any doubts, or if you want some clarifications, do write to me on my email ID, and please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you for now.